Hey y'all, Vikki in the car. Man, the love has been so overwhelming. I thank all of y'all for sharing. I thank y'all for liking, commenting, stopping by, and just checking it out. I appreciate everything. Following us on Vikki in the car on Instagram. It's just been so great. I'm really excited, and I think you guys are loving this content. The questions are fire. I appreciate that. So today is episode 3. I'm going to bring in one of my schoolmates. It's going to be great. So yeah, we're going to bring him in the car. We're going to start our interview. Vikki in the car, episode 3. Let's go. All right. Hey, y'all. Vikki in the car. This is episode 3. I got Eugene in the car with me.
Yo, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Man, we go way back.
I was thinking in the car yesterday, I was like, God, how long have I known Vikki? I was like, I think it goes back to middle school.
Yes, I want to say middle school.
Yeah, middle school. I feel like, because you didn't go to Kingsford, right?
No.
Nope, so it was middle school because we all met at Kettering.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
all the way to high
back.
school. Yep,
yeah.
way back.
So this is going to be fun. So Vikki in the car, just real life conversations. No judgment. We're just taking your views, your opinions.
All right.
Nobody get mad, okay?
Excited,
yes.
Cool.
All right, so how long have you been married in the first place?
I have been married 11 years this October
Wow.
12th.
That's tight.
And we have been together 16 years this coming November. We both met at Bowie State University. Bowie State University, go Bulldogs. I was a junior, she was a senior. We were both 20 years old.
Wow.
Yep.
That's what's up. Okay. So this will be kind of easy. So how do you keep the peace in your marriage? As you laugh.
Well, you know what? Keeping the peace in our marriage is me having a basement and her having the rest of the house. Because when we first moved in together, granted, we weren't married at the time, and we kept that secret from my grandmother. That's a whole other story. If we would have stayed in our apartment, it would have been war. But we had things to distract us. She was in grad school at the time, and I was working 2 jobs, and I was away all the time for my work. So right now, keeping the peace is just, hey, I'm going to go downstairs for a little bit. We'll come back and talk about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so that brings me to this question. Do you discuss issues right away, or do you have a cooling period? So you just said you'll say I'll go downstairs, but...
Well, I'm going to tell you this. One of the things in our marriage, and it's a lot of my fault, and I can always admit that, it has been communication. So I'm learning to speak with my wife as things happen instead of holding in and trying to feel like I can solve it myself. That's been an issue of mine. So as things happen, be like, hey, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Instead of, ooh, this is happening, I don't want her to know.
Yeah.
Let me try to solve this myself. And in doing that, that has hampered our marriage a lot, But it's a work in progress, something I'm trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're all about that communication. Because
yes.
Some people would be like, yeah, it's not the time. I gotta wait.
And
it's not the time.
That is the most important thing about a marriage is communication. And it's crazy that as long as we've been married, we're still learning this. We still trying to learn how to communicate. Because it's different levels of communication. You got to learn how your spouse likes to take communication. I don't like nobody talking down to me or a authoritative figure, So I'll shut down. You can be talking and I won't hear a thing.
Wow.
Whereas me, I have a problem of I want to get my point across, so I might raise my voice. My wife hears that, she's going to shut down and she's not going to hear anything.
Right.
So it's all about trying to figure out effective communication.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good. All right. So you have children. How old are your children?
I am the father of 2 beautiful girls, a 7, soon to be 8-year-old. Her name is Dylan. And I have a 3-year-old who her name is Sarai.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So how do you keep the romance in your marriage while you have kids?
That's an issue too, because kids, especially the younger ones, are natural blockers. They block. They don't.
Haters. Right?
They haters. They I would say try to get out as much as possible. Yeah, because you end up getting into a routine. You know, because the kids got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. And by the time you've done everything, by the time you've done baths, it's 9, 10 o'clock, and you're ready to go to bed.
Right.
You know, and it goes like that from Monday through Friday. You know, so it's just trying to find those date nights. Don't be afraid to ask people, hey, can you watch my kids?
Yeah.
You know, find those date nights, take advantage of them. And, you know, we've been getting a lot better at that too. But the thing is, you get into so much of a routine, it's hard. But, like, you know, you got to try to keep it a fire. That's all.
So you mentioned date night. So that was one of my questions. How often do you try to do date nights? Is it like once a month or like just as
at least
it comes up?
We've been going out frequently this month, especially because it's summertime. But at least once or twice a month, whether it's movies, happy hour. Like sometimes when my schedule was good, I would get home because since she works in the school system, she gets off before me. So I would get home like, hey, let's go to quick happy hour.
Yeah.
And even those like 20, 30 minutes to an hour before we got to go pick up the kid from daycare is cool.
Yeah.
You know, because that's time spent together, you know. Even though both of y'all might be a little, you know, but it's time spent together. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you're using it because you're
exactly.
paying for daycare.
Exactly. You know, and what's
smart.
cool about daycares now, they do like parents' night out.
Yep.
So whenever they had that, shout out also to Monique Gaines, who went to Largo High School. She has a daycare called Little Angels down the Plata. Shout you out.
Plata, yeah.
Yep, and that's where we send our daughter to. So she has parents' night out.
Wow.
And we like, oh yes, send both of them, you know, and then we go spend a couple of hours out down in Waldorf and
Plus
stuff.
people you trust. So
exactly.
That's always good.
Exactly.
So that's good. I like that happy hour thing.
Yep.
Utilize that. If your wife was in here, what would she say was the top #1 date night that you've ever planned?
Ooh. Man. I'm gonna blame this one on CTE, football injuries. I can't remember. Man,
so you didn't do that?
You know, I would have to say recently, we went to go see, because I'm a big Marvin Gaye fan. So we went to go see this play called Pride and Joy. And that was a good date night. Yeah, that recently that was a real good date night. That stands out. I know she enjoyed herself.
Right, yeah. That stands out. Yeah, you're looking for those standout moments. So you got to do better with that. Don't blame your little football career.
Yes. I can't remember.
All right, let's round of questions. So we've been talking about the good times, but do you believe in divorce?
I don't believe in divorce. I don't believe in divorce over petty things. Some things, but you know what? That is a good question, because I've never really pondered that. Like, part of me is like, you can always work everything out. And I've seen some things being worked out, like some major things being worked out. But I've also seen some things that have been petty, and they've divorced over some petty things that could have been worked out.
Just an excuse, probably, yeah.
Because they probably already wanted to get out the marriage. But I would say, I mean, it would have to be something hideous, but I've seen some hideous things overcome. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it would have to depend on the person and the situation, but we already know what the Bible tells us.
Exactly, yeah.
You know. But it would have to be like hideous. Like, man, they murdered somebody, something, but even that, you know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that is a cosmic question.
Right.
But I would say for my relationship and for everything we have overcome, and we've overcome a lot of things, and it's been some times where she should have left me, you know. I would have to say no, because we ended up finding a way to work it out. Y'all may not be the best of friends for a while.
Right.
The trust might be gone, but eventually, as with time does with everything, it heals all wounds, and you learn from it, and you let that become your ministry to others.
Right.
You know, because you just live by, hey, I experienced this, so this is how we dealt with it. You might meet somebody who came up in the same situation, and you're like, well, this is how we dealt with it.
Right.
Don't go off and go divorce them.
Exactly,
you know?
yeah. And I think it's the foundation too. So you guys have a strong foundation. So.
Exactly. And I mean, I know my wife doesn't, because I know she won't mind me telling her this. My wife is a product of a divorced family. So she's seen it. Whereas I had both of my parents. And I know that's something she's always said she doesn't want her daughters to experience.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I would have to say that no.
So
Yeah.
Now, do you think that you could marry wrong? Like, you, like, say, okay, yeah, you meet somebody, you marry them, and then you in it, you don't believe in divorce, but do you think there's a such thing as marrying wrong? Maybe that wasn't your person?
You know, and that's a funny thing, too. Because, believe it or not, after 11 years or so, you know, I'm sure that's ran through my wife's head for the dumb, immature things I've done. And it's ran through my head. Like, man, did I marry the right woman?
Right.
You know? And that's a conversation between you and the man upstairs. So anything is possible. But again, you're always going to think that way. But there was a reason why you were with him, and there was a reason why you got married.
Right.
You know? And I know, and I don't know if this is off topic or what, but when I'm feeling down about our marriage, or when I just want to be reminded or something, I always put back in our DVD when we got married.
Yeah.
And you just watch it all over again. And then what's crazy about it is, man, those feelings come back, you know, or you start talking about the wedding. You know, my wife hates watching the DVD because the camera guy just messed up a whole bunch of stuff, and then she see like the little things. She's real detailed. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm not watching this, you know. But I always like to watch it because it reminds me of who I fell in love with and who I married.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that. So last question. What's your
this
thoughts?
is quick.
Well,
I'm a talker, y'all. I like to talk.
What's your thoughts on cheating in a marriage? Like, could you get over cheating in a marriage? And we do know the Bible says like that is one of the reasons to divorce, but
Right.
would you be able to accept that in your marriage?
You know, like I said, my wife has accepted a lot of dumb things I've done in my marriage. And if the tables was turned, I would have to accept it too. You know? And that's just part of maturity. Mm-hmm. You know, but if both of you guys still want to be in it, you know, then, and that's when it comes to you two. If both of y'all are still willing to be in it despite of, then, yeah, not to say you go all out to do it or whatever like that, but, you know, like I said, I've done a lot of dumb things in my marriage, and, you know, if she went and did it, I'm like, well, I had it coming to me, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, I guess that answered that question.
That did, yeah, you would.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I think, sometimes that's a deal breaker. Like, man, you cheated because you're thinking in your mind, like, they're always going to cheat. You're not going to have that trust with
But,
them
you know, I always say
anymore.
this. They cheated, but there was a reason for them to cheat. You know? Or there was because cheating can come in multiple forms. Mm-hmm. You have emotional cheating, you know, where things you should be expressing to your wife, you're expressing to somebody else. You're giving yourself emotionally to somebody else, not even physically.
Exactly.
Sometimes that can be just as worse.
And that's how it starts, because you're looking for something.
Exactly. And, you know, yeah, you'll have your physical cheating and everything, you know, financial cheating, you know.
Wow. Think about that.
Yeah. I mean, people can cheat financially.
Yeah.
You know, where you're supposed to be putting your money to your family, you're putting it towards other things, you know, which hampers the family just as bad.
Exactly.
You know, but no marriage is perfect. Just like no human is perfect. It's all about if you're willing and you need to do it. You know, do you want to do it? Do people fall out of love? Yeah. You know, people fall out of love. But again, every marriage is. I hope I'm making sense. I feel like I'm rambling now.
No, you're doing.
Every marriage is different. Every situation is different, and it ultimately comes down to the two people. And if they've tried everything and exhausted everything, you know, then maybe but it takes two.
Exactly.
Basically, it takes two. Yeah.
Wow, it's powerful. I like that. Like, you had some good insight on that. For us singles folks, like, that was good.
Man, I can't even remember being single. It's been a long time.
Yeah, y'all wailing. Well, Vikki in the car, Eugene, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, so excited to have you. So episode 4 coming soon, y'all.
Please subscribe.
Yes, please. Like.
Subscribe.
My kids say the like button is
the like button. The like button is what gets everything going on YouTube.
Yes.
I'm figuring out this YouTube thing now, you know.
Like, comment, subscribe. Yes, that's what my kids say.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yes. All right, y'all.
All right.